Ready when you are, if you want to start it off.
All right, guys. Hi, this is Lyndon.
This is Alex.
We're going to do something a little bit different this time around for Lost and Found. Normally we're doing interviews or we're showing you some of our finished narrative projects, but we are actually going to go back through our BTS for our very first feature, Delicate Little Things.
It's a whole bunch of GoPro footage, and over the years that we've been filming together, past couple of years, we've accrued like 13 hours of GoPro footage, and we've never shared it, and it's always just kind of fun to look back on these, and it brings back funny stories and fun memories and stuff like that, and we just want to review this project again because we're actually going to be sharing it pretty soon.
Yeah, almost finished.
Yeah, Alex is working with the editor, and hopefully in the next month or two, it'll be done, ready for festivals, and we'll go from there. We'll see if it gets accepted anywhere. If it doesn't, it'll be up here on the Watch Lost and Found YouTube channel for your enjoyment.
And you better enjoy it.
All right, so question number one. Cancel, cut, stop. Cancel.
Control Alt Delete.
I mean, it was our first project, so it is a little rocky. I'll be honest, it's a little rocky. And it was our first project together. It was the first major project with my new camera, and basically solo crewing this. And
which shot 8 days over the span of like 9 months. So it was intense. We will go through this and break down exactly how physically demanding this job was. I assumed, we'll do a feature in one location with, just a few actors. It's going to be the easiest job ever. And every single task became more and more daunting. But we did it. We got it done. Very proud of it.
And we actually, or not we, he, Alex.
Well, we turned it into a novel, which is kind of cool. I'm actually going through right now and doing another pass of edits with an editor. She's amazing. She's helping me out, and so this is it's available on Amazon, and the new version will be out soon. But it's been a very strange process with this story. It started as an idea. We shot it as a feature. I turned it into a novel.
And people are enjoying it. Josh, who's one of the main characters in this, his mom's entire book club bought it.
Yeah, read it. It scared my mother. She was terrified. My aunt just bought it, which is...
Oh, wow.
So that probably puts the total sales up to about 9, but it's all right.
And Alex actually did an interview about the novel and turning it into the feature film a couple of videos back. So if you haven't yet watched that, be sure to check that out as well. But with all that said and done, get into it?
I think so. Let's do it.
Alrighty.
Let's watch this.
3, 2, 1.
Wow. Okay. This was the very first table read that we did for Delicate Little Things. Grace and Kaylee, who were my neighbors at the time, who are producers on this project, I kind of pulled them aside and said, hey, I'm doing this. I need some actors. Do you know anybody? And for this table read, they brought us Tyler, who ended up being in the project. Grace and Kaylee were in it as well. And they brought their friend, I believe his name was Chris, in to do this table read for Will. Ended up not being exactly the right direction I wanted to go with that character, so we ended up getting Josh, who we mentioned his mother bought the book.
Whew, look at that hair.
Wow.
That hair.
Yeah. But anyway, we found Josh through a casting call, but this was our first little read-through. Oh, she also brought Thomas. I forgot about that.
What's funny, too, is just watching the quality of this footage, because I was using the FX3 to shoot this, you can very easily tell it was a new camera to me. I mean, the footage is grainy. Probably used the wrong ISO, and I don't even remember what camera settings I was using, to be honest. So I mean, I'm glad you can see the improvement since this.
I remember too. I don't know if you remember this on this day when we did this read through. It was like the most torrential rain, downpour, flooding I've ever seen in Los Angeles. And so everybody came out. I can't believe they all showed up.
I mean, LA has the worst drainage systems out here, so the water just collects and collects. And I remember, we were jumping over rivers to get into this building.
Yeah, and then Kaylee couldn't be there, so she FaceTimed in to read the parts of it. But this was like the first time hearing, I think, really any one of my projects out loud in this capacity.
What'd that feel like? You know, like
so
listening
weird.
to everyone reading their parts.
It was so strange. Wow, Kai. Kai was just a regular at my work, and I was like, "Hey, do you want to come read this?" And
I mean, that kind of makes it sound like we used a token black dude, but Kai's a good guy.
Kai.
Yeah, Kai's awesome.
He did a great job,
and he actually makes appearances in several of our projects.
Yeah, he does.
And he's a great guy to work with. He's always trying to work on something else. So.
Yeah, it was so weird watching this. I think the coolest process of this was hearing it out loud, was hearing everybody's response.
Right.
Because this was the first time they had read it, like, through.
Okay.
I had given them pieces of, like, here's a page or two, or let me know what you think of this character. And so them hearing it out loud, hearing people laugh, like, seeing that camaraderie of the characters kind of being developed in front of my eyes was really interesting.
I love how your binder's freaking massive. Like, those rings could fit.
It was huge.
Yeah.
I had never made a director's Bible before.
Oh.
And so I did research on, like, what different directors put in their director binders. And so I got the biggest binder I could find. And as you can see, it's not even halfway through. There's like 60 pages in this thing that holds like 400. Just absolutely ridiculous, but...
Oh, and here's Brody. Brody's a character.
His horrible magic trick.
I almost fell for it. But see, again, the white balance, like the clips are going from bluish tint to orange tint, and it's like, gosh darn. I'm glad I figured out how to use the camera before we actually started filming.
I can't stand listening back to these, though, and hearing my own voice.
That's how I feel about watch my acting projects. I don't watch my acting projects. I do the project, put it out there, and say, okay, it's done.
Never see it again.
Hope you enjoy.
This was now the second read through that we did of the finalized cast. So this was, everybody came over to my apartment, and you'll see a couple of additions. We had Holger there, who played the mayor.
And you see Scotch. Scotchy Poo, the little baby.
He makes an appearance. And then Josh, who we officially cast as Will. So this was the finalized... Man, look how long your hair is.
I had that surfer look in this one.
It's so crazy.
And I had the goatee stuff going on versus the full grown.
See, I added some pages to the binder. It's slowly filling up.
Again, what I was most intrigued by were the GameCube and the old Xbox and all the old...
My PlayStation 2 and Guitar Hero.
Yeah, the good stuff.
What was cool about this process too is I was really adamant on wanting everybody to kind of have a say for their characters. So I remember after this and after the first read through of like really asking questions, especially here because this was the finalized cast of, you know, who do you view your character as? And I did something different here that I had never done was I took each actor out to lunch.
Oh, I remember you saying that.
And asked them about them and about their history and how they grew up and what about the character they saw that they related to. And what was kind of cool was I ended up changing a lot of what was written in the story because of their input.
Really?
Like Thomas, it was Thomas's idea for Charlie to come in halfway through the story. Because Charlie was there from the very beginning in the first draft. And he said something that I thought was really interesting. He said, Charlie is the least liked of this group. So if he found out about what's going on, he would be the last to know.
His character reminds me of like the Ron Weasley.
Yeah, very much so.
Of delicate little things. Just He's kind of like a dunce in this, and
Yeah, but he brought such.
oh, there's Josh.
Yeah, there's Josh.
He's the oh, and again there's Holger, but it's
Yeah.
the age difference between himself and all the other cast members,
I know.
because they're playing teenagers. So
Yeah.
it was cool to see him there, though.
Yeah,
You know,
and he's such
he's a great guy.
Unbelievable actor. He
Yeah.
works all the time. I was so grateful for him to come do this with us.
Yeah. Listen to your voice, Alex. Listen to your voice.
Yeah.
It's right there.
But I know Tyler added a lot to his character. What was interesting is Josh. Josh was the farthest from his character. Like, he really was like acting. I know that sounds horrible. They're all acting, but I mean, each person brought some like truth to who they actually are, and Josh didn't. He really just played this part. It was cool.
Well, I remember you saying that in his high school, he wasn't the one that was picked on like he is in this film. He was the star football player.
Yeah, he was the athlete.
He was the great student.
Yeah, yeah, it was kind of cool. He's a cool guy. This is so another thing I did that I'd never done before is after Lyndon and I scouted this location and we decided this was going to be our basement, we did a rehearsal in the space. It obviously isn't set up yet for the scene. You'll see that a little bit later.
It's a drastic difference. Going from empty, where it looks like you might die because there's a nail and you might cut yourself and die of an infection.
Yes.
To what you guys made it look like was a total difference. I mean, what it turned out to look like was, oh yeah, this is a spot that I would hang out at.
Absolutely,
You know?
yeah. We got Matt Bannister was our production designer. He's very good friends with Grace and Kaylee and Tyler, and he did an absolutely incredible job. I took photos and sizes of everything and sent it to him. And then he came in one day and set up this entire basement, and then we took photos and videos of everything and had to replicate it over and over and over again. But yeah, it was incredible.
That was the hard part, because whenever he showed up on set on a film day, I'd be in my little corner just setting up the camera gear, and that would take me like 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
And then you guys, all of you, like, we're all hands on deck. I would see them on their phones, like trying to match the set perfectly.
It was crazy.
And it worked.
It did work.
It looked exactly the same, considering we shot this over such a long period of time.
Yeah.
It looked the same each time.
It did.
Oh, but I love this studio.
I did too. This was our very first official shooting day for Delicate Little Things, and we did all of Holger's stuff first. And this place was really cool.
But the shots came out beautiful.
Yeah.
And that was really because again, when Alex asked me to do a feature film, I'd worked on several projects in the past, so that wasn't an issue. I've had years of experience, but my thing was again, doing it by myself.
Yeah.
That's what scared me.
Yeah, I mean, as you can see, Lyndon's moving the lights, he's setting up the camera. We
Checking the
graciously
audio
had Kaylee and Grace there, the producers, and both were helping out do boom and things like that. Lily as well is, helping slate, and she's doing makeup and continuity, and I can't remember this guy's name. I feel horrible, but this was one of Kaylee and Grace's friends as well. And
this is my DIY easy rig, because a traditional easy rig will cost a couple grand and up. If you get a really good one, I think it's like $8,000 or something like that, and I just don't have that kind of money to blow. So I've used the easy rig and the ready rig, and they're two different systems, where one has dual arms coming over the head and one has a singular arm. The one with the singular arm is great, but it has a tension cable, and so it's hard to go up and down. It's more of like, it helps you sustain the weight of the camera.
Right.
The one with the ready rig with the two arms used resistant bands, and that allowed you to go up and down. But the thing is, with two arms, it's hard to turn.
Right.
So I took the singular arm concept from the easy rig, but I'm using resistant bands to hold the camera, so I can more easily go up and down.
Smart.
Like the ready rig, and I combined it into one. And a lot of trial and error with that, but I built that by myself. And
once you actually see the basement set up, he hit his head on these weird pipes that came down from the ceiling so many times. It became like a running bit.
I think by the last day of film, I think it was the last day of filming, because I was doing a take of Brody, a oneer of Brody coming out of the closet where they do some stuff. That makes it sound like
Brody officially came out of the closet.
yeah. Well, they were doing some bloody work. We'll put it that way. Well, that doesn't make it any better either.
It's pretty bad. All around bad.
He was in a room. He came out. There was a TV stand that I hit my shin on, and in the same take, I kept on hitting that pipe. So I was about to be like, I'm leaving. I'm done.
Yeah. We gave Lyndon lots of breaks to just go off and have moments to himself. This was the church. This was the Holger's last day. He's only in 2 scenes. So this is what we shot next. And we actually invited all the other actors to come and be in the pews because a lot of this was put into our teaser footage, which is on our YouTube channel. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. And we got a bunch of extras to come. Lily's brother, both brothers and her father came. The actors were extras. My good friend Chris, his wife and his son came. And Chris has worked on projects with us before.
He is officially known as the best looking man on earth.
He's gorgeous.
There's a record of it somewhere. Yeah. There has to be because it is unfair.
Yeah, he's distractingly beautiful. But yeah, we had this, and these are all.
And this was a spot where when I posted some screen grabs from this, from the scenes that we shot in here, a director friend of mine that I'd acted in one of his projects, I told you this, where he complimented and said, dude, I've shot at that church. You made it look better than I did. And that was just such a huge compliment because again, there's limitations with my gear, number 1. Number 2, doing it by myself and having minimal experience working by myself. That was a huge compliment. So that was kind of like a reassurance and it was cool.
This was an interesting, fun day.
Oh, that's Lily's brother.
So yeah, Lily's brother Chris is playing our vicar, but and then all of Lily's friends and her cousin Emily play our missing children, just pretty funny. And actually, they've all besides Emily, they have all been in other projects. Dylan was in our Crazy Vodka commercial.
Oh yeah,
as
that's
well
right.
As oh, why am I blanking on his name now? That's horrible.
Doesn't matter. They were there.
He was also in the commercial, and then the last one, he and his girlfriend came and were extras on
the wedding
day. Yeah. So they've all helped out. They've been great. But this was a fun little shoot here in this church. It was really pretty. Kaylee did photos with all the actors around the church that we used for promotional posters, and I actually think while we were setting up, Brody fell asleep in one of the pews and was snoring, and so we had to wake him up. But
he was also super late that day, so he must have been bartending the night before.
Probably, yeah. But I don't know if you'll be able to see it in these clips, but there's like all these little things that you don't think about when you're like genuinely doing indie filmmaking. And when I say indie filmmaking, I mean besides Lyndon and myself, it was just the people present that we had to rely on. But there's this clip, and it's in our teaser trailer, of Chris playing a reporter, talking about this gathering of what's going on. And I play a cameraman, and I'm, running up with the camera and filming Chris as he's doing this interview. And that camera, Lily and I made out of cardboard and painted.
And it looked really good.
It looks really good, but there's all these problems that we had to figure out because we didn't have the money to rent a camera, so we just had to figure out how to do it, and it looks great. But
is that Lily's other brother?
Yeah, that's Luke.
Okay.
His fiance Anna's right there.
Okay.
And then that's Lily's father, Peter.
And what's so funny is Peter, we showed him some clips from Another Pucking Fairy Tale.
Which he was also in that.
He played so the main character, her name is Ashley, and she married Rory. And so,
which was played by Tyler.
From this project, actually, yeah.
So here's Chris.
Yeah, here's Chris. But so Peter played Rory's father.
Yeah.
And we're showing him some clips from it. And I can't get this image out of my mind because there's some, occurrences that take place in another fucking fairy tale. And when Peter saw him, he just looked at me and said, "Sinful."
Yeah.
And
Some adult themes.
it just, that sticks in my mind and it makes me laugh every time. So I joke around with Alex, every time the devil comes a knocking, Peter pops in my mind, I kid you not. And he redirects me to making the right decisions in life. Oh yeah, but here's Chris, the best looking man alive.
It was so cool to have him come out, and he brought his family, and
his kid was a pro. I kid you not. We're getting close-ups of the kiddo and Max, and I kid you not, we have it on camera. A fly landed on his face. He didn't move. He didn't blink.
He didn't flinch.
Nothing. It was amazing.
Little actor. Chris and his son Max also did the REI commercial with us. Yeah. And they're both are just charming.
And we got REI to comment on it.
Yeah.
And saying, I forgot what they said. They said,
I think heartwarming or.
They said something like, "We're not crying, you are."
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Because it's Max and Chris when they're opposite each other on screen. Obviously, because they are father and son, but they you can tell it's a beautiful, beautiful connection.
Yeah, it was. I mean, look at his son up there.
Yeah.
Just so charming and sweet.
And you and Chris used to be roommates, you said.
No, we weren't roommates, but Chris was one of the first people that I met in LA. We worked at the same job together. We went to the same acting class for years.
You worked together or something?
We worked together, yeah. We worked at Sir, which is another very long conversation. But yeah, Chris was one of the first people I met, and we were in acting class and worked together for 4 years or something, if not a little bit more. And he's
a really nice guy.
He's just such a cool guy.
Really nice guy.
Oh, you know what? He was my roommate. You were right. I forgot about that. For a very short period of time, right when he met his now wife. I totally forgot about that. Yeah, in the Valley. It was a group of four of us in a house together. I forgot he was in there.
Because I think the story went he met her,
and they very quickly
all of a sudden Max.
Yeah, very quickly moved out.
Alex was almost Uncle Alex.
Almost.
Gosh, Lyndon can't get this clip right. How many takes of this do we have?
You just wanted to keep the camera on Chris because he's so beautiful.
That's probably what it is. That's probably what it was. Gosh, how many takes did this take?
He did such a good job. It was so cool to... Chris is also a phenomenal actor. He works all the time.
He works on really big commercials. I think it was when the time we were shooting the REI commercial, he had just finished a commercial for Ford or something. Because I think it was the Ford Bronco or something. It was some sort of car.
He was the Levi jeans guy for years.
Of course.
It's just gorgeous.
I could superimpose a picture of him without his shirt on for your enjoyment, but it wouldn't be fair.
Just look him up.
It's not fair.
So this was the promo footage that we ended up putting into the teaser. It's not in the film at all. But it
looked really good, though.
It did look really good. It was just something where we have this gorgeous church, and I think we were there for 6-8 hours or something for the day.
Yeah.
And it was just we have to take advantage of it. And so it has this really pretty staircase that goes up to this wall full of crosses, and so we got some footage of that, and I think Kaylee took some photos of Danny in front of that wall that we ended up using for a poster, and
yeah, here it's just me racking focus from the different characters so you can get that change in perspective.
Yeah.
Nothing too crazy.
And it's not something that, you guys would know or care about, but it's so interesting to see. This was before we had locked in the kids' wardrobe. And so what they're wearing is very close to what they end up with, but it's not what's in the movie.
Oh, and that's also, Thomas has super long hair and a full beard.
And a beard, yeah. And
we're just supposed to be playing high school
teens,
kids,
yeah. So that doesn't fit. And Tyler wasn't here for this. I can't remember where he was. I think he was out of town, but and Kai obviously wasn't there either. But just for what we needed it for, it worked. But it's kind of cool seeing this, we kept Grace in a denim jacket. We changed up Kaylee a little bit. We made Thomas a little bit more simpler. I think Brody actually is wearing what he ends up wearing in the film.
Yeah, 'cause that's just how Brody dresses in
Yeah,
general.
it's just who he is.
He's a moody, broody Brody.
He is. And Danny, we actually ended up buying and distressing a Carhartt jacket for him. So we put like cigarette burns in it, and we put patches on it that he doodled on, and we really went into effort for his look specifically because it was something we really wanted. But it's pretty interesting just kind of seeing. This was the first time we were filming with the actual kids, the teens. It was their first time being on camera for us. So I'm sure they're just thinking, wow, what have we gotten ourselves into?
And I mean, obviously, this scene didn't require a whole lot of acting from them. So once we went into the basement, it was cool to finally see
them get to work together.
Them bring their all.
Yeah.
You know?
They all look so good on camera.
Yeah. No, I love these shots in the teaser.
So interesting to see how long ago this all was. I also love how Brody's just all the way in the back by himself. I'm sure that was something he decided to do. That,
like you said, he was probably taking a nap.
I was gonna say that might be the pew that he fell asleep on. And then Luke in the corner is drawing. He's an artist. He's very talented, so I'm sure he's drawing the people and the kids. So now we get into the basement. And as you can see, it's drastically different than it was when we were first just doing that rehearsal in the space. But man, it's crazy. How we got
right there in the center, that pole dropping down.
Yeah.
I think it's like a drainage pipe or something like that. But yeah, that's what I kept on getting hung up on with the Easy Rig.
What's crazy about this is, I'd say 60% of this stuff that's down here was Matt Bannister, our production designer. Some of it was our stuff, but what's crazy is we shot in this basement six days, and it was an overnight weekend. It was like a Sunday to a Monday, and so we would go in early, 2 hours early. We'd set all of this up. We'd leave it there overnight, and then Monday nights for 2 hours we would, strike it all, put it into a U-Haul, and drive it to my apartment. And Danny and I would spend 2 hours unloading it from the U-Haul into my apartment. My apartment looked like a storage unit. Like, you couldn't go into my living room, and it was like that for like 9 months because we couldn't afford to keep it all in.
It drives me insane doing stuff like that, because like I tell you the same with my gear.
Mm-hmm.
I just have so much gear. It's like some's here, some's here, some's here, some here, and it's like,
yep,
I need a second bedroom.
Yep,
just to turn into an office.
It was crazy, and some of this stuff was Lily and I's stuff. Like the couch we used was our living room couch. And so we didn't really have a couch for a while, but all of this stuff we kept. And these wood panels that Matt bought to give the walls a little bit of texture. Also, when we showed up, there was a huge hole in the wall that wasn't there when we did the rehearsal for. And
well, it also gives it that like 70s, 80s vibe.
Right, which is what we wanted.
With that big TV. Look at that massive TV.
But there was just so much involved with this that, like, the telescope was Lily's brother's. Same with all the Boy Scout stuff.
I think I got hooked on something right there to restart it.
But yeah, the effort alone that went into just setting this up.
Yeah.
Outside of filming it was pretty nuts. And because we only had Lyndon, we set it up where every 15 pages of the script was a one-shot. And so Lyndon and I went through and marked the perfect spot to find a cut. And so we would spend the first couple of hours filming just getting the oneer done. And
then we had very deliberate inserts of cutaways.
Yeah.
So very specifically planned out of like, oh, I was here when I shot this, so this would be the other angle to still play to the 180 rule and stuff like that. And
so we set all this time up of doing these oneers and then going in and getting coverage of everybody. And it was the only way we could shoot it as fast as we did. So we would go a couple of days before filming. We would get everybody in a park, and we would do rehearsals just of choreography, of placing it all out, because I mean, as you can see, everybody's moving, there's motion, people are walking around, and we had to plan it out so precisely with Lyndon so he could hit his marks, get what he had to get on camera. It was a lot. It was very involved.
I mean, that was the hard part for me to memorize, because it's like I'm almost trying to listen for cues to remember where I'm supposed to be. And then the hard thing too was I had to light the space, because there's so many characters in this.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm lighting for an optimal shot of this character. I'm lighting the entire space.
Right.
And as they move in it, hope I don't cast any shadows. There are a couple of boom shadows here and there, but we cut those away. But the point is I had to light the room versus a specific character. And that was what the first editor who did the teaser for us was saying was, it must be busy down there in the basement, because it looks so small with all the crew. And Alex was like, oh no, it's just me and Lyndon. And the guy was like, oh wow, that's impressive. It looks really good. So in that was another huge compliment of, because again, I'd never had to do something like that where I'm lighting the space and letting the actors move within it.
Yeah.
But I think that's also what lends itself to this film definitely going to look different than a lot of Hollywood films.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of Hollywood films, a popular critique in this moment in time is that everything looks a little too perfect, as in everything's catered to every specific scene and shot, versus looking organic and looking real.
Yeah, this was very real lighting.
And so it's it does in that regard, I think, lend itself to feeling a bit more organic. Yeah.
Which is kind of what we wanted. We wanted to feel like you were one of the characters in the basement with them. So everything we did was very intentional.
That, and I forgot which filters I used, but I used like a mist filter. I used like 2 or 3 different filters, and it had like this graininess to it, which is cool. Very cool. It was reminiscent of older style films, which is great. I love that. It was so much texture.
A little side note there, in that scene, Danny comes down with this, case of beer. And obviously we, again, didn't have money to get anything approved. And so I designed and printed a beer brand and had to fully cover an actual 6-pack of, non-alcoholic beer, get it to perfectly wrap around the beer cans, which is something I had never done before. But it was just those little details we added into this project because we wanted it to, we just didn't have any money. So I had to figure out ways to get around showing labels and brands. I was very proud of that. I loved it. But
the other thing I really appreciate about Delicate Little Things is that it's in the direction that we want to be as filmmakers, in terms of this is story driven.
Oh, absolutely.
It's a story driven film. And I've spoken to Alex about this numerous times of how modern Hollywood films like to tell you what to think, versus 90s and early 2000s films simply try to make you feel something.
Right.
It's a very different, or at least that's my interpretation of why modern films just don't do it for me, and why I don't really care for them too much. Of like, they're trying to force you to think this, think that, whichever, versus older films just, this was the scenario. They're character driven stories, very character driven.
Yeah.
And through that, it's going to elicit some sort of emotional response from you, and you do with that with what you will.
I was going to see if you were going to hit the pull
yeah,
again.
but see how close that darn thing comes
it
to.
Just sticks down so much. A couple of little fun Easter eggs about filming in this basement. The man that we rented the space from. One of the shoot days happened shortly after Thanksgiving. And so the piece that we used as the entertainment table underneath the TV was missing. And so one day we showed up and in a panic, and I was like, I don't know what we're going to do. Like, it's so blatantly in the shot. We can't just not have it anymore. And so I reached out to the guy, and thankfully he had just moved it upstairs into his house. He was using it as seating for Thanksgiving. But that was like our first, like, oh no, what are we going to do? And then if you notice by the lamp on the left, there's this little blue glass like vase that broke.
You know what that reminds me of Breaking Bad. He's like, no, you don't cook meth in this. You
funny.
use this.
That's funny. It broke, like broke. And
I didn't realize that.
Yes, and I panicked. And Kaylee actually went out and went thrifting and found one that was almost exactly the same. The only difference is the other one didn't have a handle, and this one did.
And then so one of them was coked with meth, and one of them wasn't.
Exactly.
Okay,
exactly.
Yeah, there we go.
And so we just had to rotate it so you couldn't see the handle. But one of those, again, little indie projects where you gotta figure it out. You just don't really have a choice.
I love those Christmas lights in there, by the way. Well, other than the fact that, like, right here, see how it's
stuck on them right
see
there.
how it's dangling and it's swaying. I hit it. Other than the fact that I would hit it every so often, aesthetically, they looked freaking awesome.
Yeah, that's really cool. There is, we didn't match the shutter speed with them, so that flickering light is in the movie, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, and see, that was one thing I didn't know, is you're supposed to change the shutter speed, because it's supposed to be, if you're shooting at 24 frames per second, your shutter speed is supposed to be 1/48, or if you shutter angle 180. And so instead of using 1/48, you go to maybe 1/52, 1/60 or something like that. I didn't know that at the time. I do now, but hey, live and learn.
Yeah, I mean, it's the Johnny, who's editing now, who's almost done. That was one of his biggest things. He was like, "What do you want me to do about the strobing light?" And I've seen through a couple of different versions of it now, and I kind of like it. It adds this very 90s old school vibe to it. And like here, it's so like hidden in the background that you can't really see it, but as they get closer to the light, it's more prominent. So it just feels so real in the story. So I loved it. There's just little things that we get to add and put into here that I don't think if it had been a big budget project, we would have been able to.
Well, and that's the best thing about indie projects, is all of your limitations then become inspirations for creativity.
Yeah. I mean, we ended up spending, outside of post-production, $15,000 for an hour and just under hour and a half feature film. It's 9 shoot days altogether, including one pickup shot that we did.
But what's cool is a lot of these movements too, yes, we planned them out in the park, but I do appreciate that you give me a lot of freedom.
Oh yeah.
In terms of, I think from this angle, or is it okay if I move to this character, or whichever. Yeah. Like, you gave me a lot of freedom in that regard, so I appreciate that.
Wow.
And there we go.
That's it.
That is
That's so crazy.
GoPro footage. Well, that's actually condensed. We took, because I think it was like 6-7 hours of GoPro footage just from that project, and we condensed it down to 30-ish minutes, so hopefully the video is not too long for you.
That's so cool to look back and see all that. I mean, the whole project was very, with the actors adding their 2 cents and giving you the freedom to shoot what you thought was best. Because it's written where there's 9 characters in this basement and they're all talking over each other, there's a kernel of dialogue that traces what the actual story is about, and everything else is just real life filler of bickering, arguments. Like, that's the way that the relationship works between these characters. And so same with that, I wanted you to be in the space and to just naturally film what was important and what you felt was important to the story. And it's making a really cool end project. Johnny is doing an interesting thing with editing where he has not read through the entire script. What he did is he would read a scene and he would edit the scene. And he would read the next scene and edit the next scene. And so he was discovering the story and editing the story in the way that the audience would be.
Interesting.
So it was very cool. So I was getting to talk to him as he was working through it and being like, "Oh, I didn't see that coming. Oh, wow, I'm at this part. Oh, I feel like something's coming, but I don't know. I can't tell." And so it was really cool to see him get to experience it for the first time. And yeah, I just think with all the fun little weird things we did with this, it's going to make a pretty cool little project.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, and my favorite thing about watching older projects, not my acting projects, like I said, I can't stand watching myself, but in terms of filmography and cinematography and all that, what I like about watching that kind of stuff is that it gets my mind going in terms of what could I have done better, what can I learn from this, and that's what I'm proud to say of. we've grown a heck of a lot since this.
Absolutely.
So that's really cool.
I mean, if you look at the teaser for this project, which again is on our YouTube channel, don't forget to check it out. But then go to the trailer for Another Pucking Fairy Tale. Drastically different stories, drastically different genres. We shot them differently on purpose. They have very intentional styles. But we went from Delicate Little Things, our first day of filming was in March.
I don't know.
It might have been April. It was either March or April. Anyway, whatever the day was, our last pickup shot was the beginning of January. Because we did a
Delicate Little Things?
For Delicate Little Things. We did a pickup shot with Josh.
Yeah.
And we had to wait for everybody to get back from holiday. And so...
That's right.
Last pickup shot was January. The first shoot day of Another Pucking Fairy Tale was one day after our first day of filming for Delicate Little Things, which means it was only 3 months.
It was like May 14th or something like that. That we started filming Another Pucking Fairy Tale. So we just
went right into it.
Kept going.
Yeah, I mean, a couple month of pre-production, casting, photo shoots from Another Pucking Fairy Tale, but we basically wrapped this, gave it to an editor, and went straight into another project. And even just those couple of months that we had, our skill level had drastically jumped up from mine of writing, directing, casting. I mean, the costuming.
Oh shit! I mean, I shot a freaking feature film in between those two projects.
Yes. And that's why we had to wait so long.
Yeah, yeah. And then for Another Pucking Fairy Tale, I finally had the Steadicam.
Yep.
Which YouTube videos did the job, apparently. I mean, because the brand that I have, it's called like the Thanos Pro X, and so I think it's like a Chinese version of an American brand. So the instructions aren't in English.
Just had to figure it out.
So it was a whole bunch of YouTube videos to figure that one out.
But that's pretty nuts to think that we spent all this time and effort into that feature, and then just a couple months later went right into the next project. And that one, again, was I think 7 months. So it was shorter.
Yeah, we went from May up until our last shot was February 2nd, I believe.
Yeah.
Or 12th, 2nd or 12th.
It was definitely a shorter time period than the feature was, but it was... I think we've
way more locations.
Way more locations. But I think, because we've done the edit together, it's only maybe 10 minutes shorter than our feature is.
It's like 107 minutes. No. An hour and 7 minutes.
It's an hour, yeah, roughly. Yeah, because it's 9 episodes. But anyway, it's just pretty crazy that we went from one right after the other, and how much we learned and how quickly we learned from those things.
And then we immediately, like almost right after Another Pucking Fairy Tale, we immediately started Holy Smokes.
Yeah.
Which trailers on the YouTube channel, if you haven't yet seen it. And
in between those commercials and all those other
things. Yeah, all the other gigs, freaking A. But please be patient with episode 1. I know it's a little rocky, but that's again because that style, that mockumentary style was a first for me and Alex.
Oh yeah.
It was a first. So it's good, but it's not my favorite. Episode 2 just dropped, and that's noticeably better.
Yeah, it is better.
With episode 3, we've already finished editing that, and that looks really funny. That's me busting the moves on Alex's fiance.
That's your big scene.
Yeah,
big
that's
episode.
I'm hitting on the chicks and getting.
You get a number.
I do, written on my hand.
You get a number.
And what's funny is it's all the employees giving me tips on how to hit on chicks.
Yeah.
And apparently I still haven't learned anything because I'm still struggling in real life right now. So I still struggle with that. But then episode 4 and 5 are shot, but we haven't started editing those. But those are arguably, in my opinion, next level than 2 to 3. And we still have 5 more episodes to go. So there's a really nice progression with that. And so be sure to stay tuned for more of those as well.
Yeah. We again, thank you so much for the two of you that have stayed till the end to watch all of this. Thanks, Mom.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're having so much fun just learning and growing, and this is such a fun, rewarding experience, and the unbelievably talented and gracious people that we get to work with is just it's heartwarming. It really is just it's so fun. And so thank you so much. Stick around at the end. We're going to play the teaser for Delicate Little Things. Now that you've got all this background information, you might as well stick around and watch it. And yeah, we can't thank you enough.
Oh yeah, what was it again?
Oh, cool beans.
Cool beans.
We have come together in an effort to make this community whole again.
5 children have gone missing, Mayor. So if you see anything out of the ordinary, please call our hotline. Now, if you or any of your loved ones are free, we are meeting every night at the West Mills Community Church at 6 p.m. So please come on down and help us find our kids.
What was it again? Cool beans.
Cool beans.